Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button so you can see every time I make a new video. Today I'm going to be talking about my postpartum must-have. These were the things that I needed to save my life after I had my baby. So if you're interested in seeing what my postpartum must-haves are, then keep watching. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing that I'll talk about is witch hazel. And this is just a Life brand. I bought this at Shoppers. It says for the relief of bruises, swelling, and insect stings, and it may also be used as a skin cleanser and toner. So what this does is kind of helps to, it gives you that relief of the swelling after you've pushed out a baby, so down there, and it does kind of keeps everything clean. It helps with the swelling and the pain, and it kind of for me felt like it had a little bit of like a numbing effect for like what was going on down there. So I would really recommend the witch hazel, which I also paired with my next must-have, which is this bottle. It's a cleansing bottle. I think it's called a perennial, I don't even know how to say it, bottle. Perineal. It's for your perineal area, and they give this to you in the hospital, and so they have like a solution in it when they give it to you, and it's just to kind of help cleanse that whole area. But when I brought it home, I would just put like warm water in there, and I would use this instead of using any kind of toilet paper or anything to wipe down there. I would just kind of use this to cleanse and clean everything. It just makes everything easier, especially if you've got stitches and stuff like that. You want to make sure that you're keeping that area clean. So after I was using the warm water and I felt like I needed to be able to heal faster, that's when I would put the witch hazel in there in the bottle with the warm water, and that would help tons. I would use that kind of combo every time I went to the washroom, and it was super helpful. In terms of cleansing also, and for pain management, was Epsom salt was my other must-have. This is just some Epsom salt that I have in a Ziploc bag from a bottle that I had. But an Epsom salt bath, I used them during pregnancy. They helped to relieve pain and to help soothe my body. And so I used the same thing for after I had the baby. It just kind of helped to soothe my muscles, my sore muscles. It helped to soothe the area down there and keep everything kind of, you know, gave it some relief. So that was really helpful. So an Epsom salt bath was absolutely, it worked wonders. The next thing that I would recommend, and I needed so much, was my heating pad. This is the one that I have. Any kind of heating pad or magic bag or whatever you can use. It was just really helpful because I found that I had a lot of just muscle pain, like back pain, or my arm was hurting. Like, you don't realize how many muscles you're using when you're pushing out your baby, especially if you've had the epidural. So I ended up having the epidural, and so you don't realize, like, you're not feeling all the pain, you're not feeling anything. There's a lot of adrenaline flowing and excitement, and then the next day, literally, I felt like I got hit by a bus. It was painful, and so the heating pack just helped to kind of relieve those pain and aches. The next thing that I would use is any kind of pain relief. For me, it was Tylenol. I'm a big fan of Tylenol. They also give you some ibuprofen, so like Advil, to take as well. So they gave me some to take ibuprofen, and then I kind of continued to take it after as needed, but they kind of tell you, you know, how often you should take it and things like that. So the hospital usually would give that to you. Along with that is really helpful, and the hospital gave to me, was a stool softener. So this one is a Ducosat sodium. And they said take one capsule twice a day if needed. So that's the one that I used. I bet you could use any stool softener, because that first time you gotta go to the bathroom, it's painful. It's not pleasant. It's not nice. I don't know. Like, I don't really know the reasoning for it, but I just know that it was not a pretty experience. So basically having a stool softener is very helpful. The other thing that I continue to take is my prenatal pills. They basically say it's definitely helpful with the with all the vitamins that are in it. It's still helpful to take afterwards, after you've had baby, so I continue to take my prenatal. The next thing that is really helpful, which is not a necessity, but this is a little roller that my coworker made for me with as part of the gift for the baby shower, and this is an essential oil roller, and this one is called Happy Mama. So it's a blend of bergamot, clary sage, frankincense, grapefruit, orange, and fractionated coconut oil, and it says apply to neck as needed. And honestly, sometimes this just helps to calm me. It helps when I'm feeling stressed, overwhelmed, especially in the beginning with breastfeeding and not sleeping, and you know, just having a new baby. Like, this is really helpful, and I've used it, but I still have quite a bit, and every once in a while, you know, I just feel like I need it. It's just so refreshing. So this was definitely a must-have for me. The next two items were must-haves for me. They are pads. So I used, obviously these are thin ones that I transferred to when the bleeding got a little bit less, but I did use the heavier overnight pads. I found that pads were helpful as time progressed on. I preferred pads to the other item that I used, which is the Depends. So I used to use the Depends when I first came home from the hospital. I used it to come home in and mess with any of my underwear, and so in order to keep everything well, I used the Depends, and they were great. And then as the bleeding, you know, kind of lessened and it was more manageable, I used to wear these because it's just a little bit easier to manage, feels a little bit more comfortable than like sitting in this Depends underwear. And you know, when you're going out, it's easier to change a pad than it is to change Depends when you're on the go. So these two were another must-have. The last must-have that I have is a water bottle. I've talked about my water bottle constantly, or having a water bottle. This helps just to keep you hydrated, especially if you are breastfeeding. It just overall, obviously drinking water is a great thing when you're pregnant, after pregnancy, just, you know, all the time. Water is great, but this was a great postpartum for me, especially, you know, because I was breastfeeding, and to kind of just keep myself going. So a good water bottle that you can kind of carry around, or having water bottles stationed around your house, just to make sure that you're keeping yourself hydrated and that making sure that you eat properly. I have one more item, or items, that were helpful. I actually forgot about them, and that is comfy clothing. I didn't bring any, but you guys know what's comfortable for you. So that would be, you know, comfortable loose-fitting t-shirts, yoga pants, leggings, comfy sweaters, you know, whatever makes you feel comfortable, whatever is loose and, you know, easy to wear, because you don't want anything restricting your stomach. You just want to feel comfortable. You want to wear things that are easy for nursing if you're going to be doing that. So you just want to make sure that you're in the most comfortable clothes, just so that you feel better and it makes everything easier. Anyways guys, those are all of my postpartum must-haves. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you had a postpartum must-have that you want to share. You know, it's always good to hear about little things and tips and tricks that help. Everybody's different. And you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Love you guys. Bye.